Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the McGonagall Boxing Podcast. Let's get straight down to it, shall we? So breaking news, Eubank Jr. has come out and stated that not only does he want Canelo, but he's going to beat him, he's going to outclass him, out-hustle him, and he's going to become the new super middleweight champion of the world. The famous phrase coined by George Groves before their fight, delusional, comes into play here. Now, that's not to say Eubank had not made improvements with Nate Vasquez, because he did in the James DeGale fight. It's the best I've ever seen Eubank. He looked like finally he listened to a coach. Finally, he had kind of some tactics in the ring. He looked like he had some boxing skills. He was harder to hit, more head movement, and he actually designed a jab. Now, this jab, I was there live, threw James DeGale a lot because he was expecting, Eubank to hustle and hurry him. And what happened was Eubank was setting him up. He was peppering him with the jab, and then he'd unleash once James DeGale had been caught out by the jab and his guard was let down. So he actually was setting himself up for the big onslaught. I was very, very impressed. But lo and behold, what happens next? He gets rid of Nate Vasquez. So the one trainer who's given him some boxing skills, some head movement, a jab, his best career performance, and he moves on. Now, this is the problem with Eubank Jr. There is no consistency. That was back in February 2019, okay? He didn't fight again until December, and it was not really a fight at all, was it? Korobov, highly touted amateur, but 36 years old, retires after round 2 with a shoulder injury. So they barely got going. And this is the problem. Inactivity, no consistency with Eubank in his personal life. You don't know what training he's going to have next. There's no consistency in his fighting. You don't know when he's going to fight next or what weight division. He's constantly going between middle, super middle. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries light heavy just for the crack of it. What is going on? And now he's calling out Canelo. With all due respect, Canelo's going to look at his record and go, okay, you beat a badly faded James DeGale. But what have you got for me? Are you a big draw? Are you on the big network, which you was 4 years ago under Eddie Hearn and Sky Sports? Or you would have been had you stayed with Frank Warren? But no, a constant change of promoters again. He's got no major network behind him, no world belt. There's no proof that he's a big draw. Yes, the Gal fight did good numbers, but again, year by year, people are starting to clock onto Eubank. They're realising that actually is more show than go. So why would Canelo fight you? That's the problem you've got. Canelo's the pound for pound number one. He's a boxing superstar. He's a huge draw around the world. He's got major backing from DAZN and they pay him a fortune. He holds all the shots. He can fight anyone. He's not going to fight you, Eubank Jr. So you need to get with it. You need to go and earn the right to face Canelo. Like people used to earn the right to fight Floyd Mayweather. You need an impressive victory against a world champion, or minimum top 5 fighter. The fight you should be going for is Caleb Plant. Although I think Plant beats Eubank Jr. as well. I think he's a better all-round boxer. The fight you should be going for is Callum Smith or even Billy Joe Saunders. Target one of the world champions before you target the pound for pound number one best. It's as simple as that. But let's say it does happen. Let's say that Canelo, can't take any more of this social media abuse, this talking. And no doubt, he's heard of Eubank Jr. and Senior. Senior's a Hall of Fame fighter in his own right. So there's no doubt Canelo knows him. But say he does take him. Let's break the fight down. It's going to be a long night for Eubank Jr. The problem you've got is Canelo is such a tactician in the ring. He's so superior in boxing skill and defence and counter punches than Eubank Jr. Sort of what we call the bum rush approach, where Eubank just marches forward and tries to out-muscle and out-physical, is not going to happen with Canelo. Canelo is just a strong, thick set, and he's got great defence. He's not just going to let Eubank bombard him and out-muscle him like he does with, let's face it, inferior competition at British and European level. And what's going to happen is eventually what George Groves did to Eubank Jr., he's going to pick him apart. He's going to realise that actually he keeps his hands low and his head high. He's got set patterns coming charging in, and Canelo's just going to catch him charging in. He's going to bust that jaw up again. I mean, credit to Eubank, he's got an iron chin. He's got his father's chin. He can take a punch, but when you're being hit regularly and hard, it's going to take its toll. And I would not be surprised if the corner stops Eubank from himself around the 9-10 mark. Badly busted, badly beaten up. He was lucky he wasn't pulled in the George Groves fight. You can say he's made improvements since then, but not enough to go on Canelo's level. And this is prime Canelo. This is not Canelo that fought Floyd Mayweather at 23 years old. This is prime 29, 30-year-old Canelo. Fought in multiple weights, fought world champion after world champion, and has got better and better and better with each year. So Eubank's got a massive problem because he's not a better boxer, he's not a better puncher, and he's not big enough to bully the big Canelo. So where do you go from there? It's a tough ask. And people will say, well, he's got Roy Jones Jr. in his corner. Roy Jones Jr. was a fantastic boxer. Doesn't mean he's going to be a fantastic fighter. There's no guarantee anyone can fight like Roy Jones Jr. He was an exception. It's like, Roger Federer trying to teach his pupils. They're not going to be able to play like him. Or Michael Jordan teaching his students to play like him at basketball. They were phenomenons, one-offs. So just because he was a fantastic boxer doesn't mean he's going to be a fantastic trainer. And Eubank Jr. is notorious for having a huge ego like his father. He doesn't listen to his trainers. He didn't listen to Adam Booth, who was a fantastic trainer. Booth got rid of him. He didn't listen to Ronnie Davis. Davis sticks by his side because he's loyal and he's a good payday for him. But, he almost washes his hands with Eubank Jr. now. And this is the pattern going over and over and over again. It looked like he was actually listening to Nate Vasquez. But what happened? Excuse me. He got rid of him. One fight. His best fight, got rid of him. So when is the inevitable clash going to happen with Roy Jones Jr.? Soon. They've both got big egos, and when they're in the mix of a tough boxing fight, that's when you need to listen to your trainer. Will he? I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced this will be a long-term thing with Roy Jones Jr. either. I don't want to sound like I'm hating on Eubank Jr. He's a phenomenal specimen. Great athlete, great engine, great chin, and he's good enough to be world champion. I just don't think he's disciplined. And let's be honest, his schedule, the people around him, his father, his various hangers-on, and his constant changing of coaches is a good thing. He needs stability, he needs consistency. And if he can do that and keep making improvements, even though now he's 31, 32, he could go on to beat one of the world champions, a Callum Smith or a Caleb Plant or a Billy Joe Saunders. It's a tough ask, but it's achievable. Or even an aging Golovkin down in middleweight, if he hangs on enough, or some of the other middleweight champions. I believe he can win if the timing's right and consistency is right. He can become a world champion, but it's a big ask. And right now, sadly, he's failing that ask. And he will certainly fail the Canelo test if he ever meets Canelo. So be careful what you wish for, Eubank Jr. Don't go for the number one target. I can see why you're doing it. It's the big payday. But you need to be smart and sensible and carry on building your boxing skills and your consistency. You need to be more active before taking on Canelo. All right, guys. I'm out. Ran over. I'll see you soon. Please follow me on my Instagram, my YouTube, my Twitter. the McGonagall Boxing Podcast. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you real soon. All right, guys, bye.